welcome to the first official podcast episode of Byte-Sized Balance. My name is Tavis. If you're not familiar with my channel, I put out a lot of content dealing with tech. I'm really about to ramp this channel up and start dropping more, bringing people on to talk about IT and people in their careers, as well as putting out more labs for you people to enjoy, and as well as might bring on people from different entrepreneurial ventures and a lot of type of information like that. So the purpose of this video is to help new entry-level people who are not in the field of IT go ahead and break in. Okay. Currently, I'm a systems engineer too for a Fortune 500 company, and I've been able to scale my IT career to over 6 figures in under 3 years. And I really want to start to give out the game and give out my personal experiences to people trying to break in, to really break the narrative and to not give any fluff and give it to people raw and uncut exactly how it is. And that's one of my main missions. One of my main missions here at Byte-Sized Balance. Okay, so first we're gonna jump into a little history about myself. So I graduated college here in Raleigh, North Carolina at St. Augustine's. I graduated with a degree in exercise science. I was going to pursue something in the lines of physical therapy or occupational therapy. But what happened was when I graduated, I got hired on by the city of Raleigh as a maintenance technician. So pretty much what I was doing was just cutting grass, and I was weedy, and because I had previously worked for the city of Raleigh when I was in college during the summer, so when I graduated they hired me on full time. So I was working there doing that for about 2 years, and I figured out it was something that I didn't want to do. So I started applying to other positions, and I got a call to be a teacher. So I was a 7th grade science teacher at a local school here in Raleigh. Shout out Riverbend, the Tigers. Okay, I was a science teacher there, and that's when I really decided and realized that teaching wasn't a career that I really wanted, a career path that I really wanted to go down. So I knew IT was something that I was interested in, but I just didn't know the right steps in order for me to land a position with that type of role. Because back when I was in high school, I used to do highlight films. So athletes, people on the football team, people on the basketball team would pay me to make them highlight tapes. I would cut it up and add music on it and send it to coaches if they wanted me to. So I was real tech savvy for a long time, and that was back in high school. We talking 2011, 2012. Okay, it's 2025 now. So I always been tech savvy, and I always wanted to work on computers, but I just didn't know the path to get in. So I have a close family member who was already in the field, and I asked him. I said, I'm not going to say his name here, but I said, what do I need to do to break in? I was about to go to a 2-year school. I was about to go to a boot camp, because I remember when the boot camps was popping off, it was around that time. Okay, this is about 2020, like right after COVID. So he said, man, what you need to do, you need to get your Security Plus. So I said, okay. At the time, I had explored different paths. I had took like a insurance salesman exam, and I had passed it, so I knew I was good at passing tests. So I studied for it, and I ended up passing it. And you know, Security Plus was my first certification. So shortly after that, after my year that I was teaching, I started applying for IT roles, and it was at another local school system. They had an IT technician role that I applied for, and I got the job. Okay. They hired me because I had a Security Plus, which is a certification that's a little bit above A+, and I was a teacher, so I already knew how to act in a school environment, and they knew that. They just knew that they had to teach me the tech side of the school system. So I went there. I stayed there for about 6 months. I learned a lot of good things. I learned about Active Directory. I learned about BIOS and imaging computers and doing a whole bunch of different troubleshooting steps. I'm not going to get too deep into it. Software, hardware, printers. You know the deal, those who've been in IT. So I took that experience after 6 months. Then I was hired on by a healthcare company that's when I really started to work remote. They hired me on as an IT analyst. So I stayed there for about a year. That's when I really got my hands-on experience with the cloud. That's when, because we had an Azure environment. So I got a lot of hands-on experience with Azure. I did a lot with Microsoft Intune, Microsoft SharePoint, Microsoft Copilot, Microsoft Office 365, Microsoft Outlook. Okay? I got a lot of hands-on experience in those type of technologies while I was there, as well as a lot of hardware and different softwares that I'm not going to name right now. So I stayed there for about a year, and then I got a call from a tech startup here in Raleigh. That was my last job. Okay? They brought me in making somewhere between 70 to 80,000. So I took the job. Okay? So here I am, not even a year and a half, not even 2 years in, and I'm already making more than what I was as a teacher. Now I'm making $70,000 to $80,000 in IT, and they brought me on as an IT specialist. Okay, so what I did was I worked there. I got a lot of hands-on experience with AWS and Google Workspace and Mac OS devices and using bash scripts and getting real skilled in automation and collaborating with network engineers and doing hardware network troubleshooting. And you know, it was a very technical role, and I got a lot of good experience there. Okay, and then halfway through my tenure, I was promoted as a IT and security operations manager. Okay, so that's when I really got my hands into the security side in reference to things like GRC. We did a lot with SOC 2 compliance at this tech startup that I was at. And it was a great place to work. You know, I liked everybody there. It was a great place. But, you know, I was there for a year. And then I got a call from where I am now, which is a Fortune 500. So, and then that's when I was able to move over into my systems engineer 2 position and the position that I'm in now. So this is just a testament that somebody like me, I was a regular guy off the street. Well, not even off the street. I had prior experience, but I didn't know anything about IT. This video is for people who don't have any type of IT experience. I'm not talking to people who got an IT degree or people who, you know, already know a little bit. This is for people who don't know anything. That's what I'm trying to help in this video. Okay? So, I'm just a testament. So what I'm going to do is go through some things that you need to focus on, those people trying to break in right now, to really run those roles. Okay? So first we're going to talk about your application. Okay? So when you're applying for these jobs, you have to make sure that the job application that you're sending in is tailored specifically toward the job that you're applying for. You don't want to just send one general resume out to every job. That's not going to hit like that. Whatever job you're applying for, whatever is on your resume needs to match that job. Okay? So, let's just say me personally, it was 4 different type of roles that I was targeting. So for each of those type of roles, I had a tailored resume for those jobs. Okay? And what I was doing was, every time I seen a job in one of those 4 categories pop up, I would send that tailored resume to that type of job. Okay? So it's not just I'm just sending one general resume. Okay? Because I had a lot of different experience in different domains, I didn't want to shorthand myself by not being qualified for a specific job because I didn't put the relevant experience on the resume. So that's what happened. And people say that they fill out hundreds, and I fill out 200-300 resumes and I still ain't getting no hit back. If you're filling out 200-300 resumes and you're still not getting any hit backs, it's something wrong with your resume. Okay, it's really cut and dry to why you're not getting resumes and why you're not getting job offers. Okay, so it's really cut and dry. I'm gonna lay it to you like this. Okay, so if you're not getting interviews, that means that your job application is not dinging, which means that whatever specific words that they're looking for in your resume or for you to be qualified for that job, it's not popping on your resume. You're not even getting callbacks. Okay, you need to tailor your resume so it'll ding for those type of jobs. Okay, if you go 2-3 months and you still ain't getting no hits back, that means you need to change something up on your resume because it's not hitting. Okay? And a lot of people say they don't have experience and they're trying to get experience, but it's hard to get experience. If we're going to keep it real, what you can do is any type of job that you had where you use the computer at, you can spin that into IT experience. If you worked at McDonald's and you unplugged the computer and plugged it back in and rebooted it because it was acting up one day, and you maybe updated it or you maybe did anything with the computer, you can technically spin that into IT experience because it is IT experience because it was something dealing with you at work with the computer. So you have to know how to use your skills from prior jobs to put those skills relevant to the job that you're applying for on the application. Okay? And even those people who say, yeah, I can't get no experience, you can always go to your local library and say, look, I need hands-on IT experience. Do you mind if I come here in the afternoon and restart the computers, put new software up there, troubleshoot the printers, fix the keyboards, install a webcam? And I'm pretty sure those people at the library, if you put that down as work experience, they'll vouch for you and say that you worked there and that you did. Because when the job employer is looking at the resume, they don't know if you got paid for that work or not. All they see is where you say you worked at and what you said you did. Okay? So you really don't have any excuse why you don't have any experience. Because experience is free if you go volunteer and do it. Okay? You have to decide how bad you really want it and how bad you really want to break in, if that's something that you want to do. Okay? It only takes a couple hours a week to actually go in there and ask them that, and I'm pretty sure they wouldn't mind. Okay? So, that's that. Alright? So, the type of roles that you need to target. So when you first break in, you need to watch my video, okay? I dropped a video. It's a short. It's called Top 5 Entry-Level IT Certifications. You need to have a certification if you want to break in, or unless you have some type of IT degree, okay? Depending on what type of field you want to get in, you want to make sure it's tailored toward that. But the ones that I put are the top 5, okay? So you need to pick one of them, pass them, then start applying for those entry-level roles. IT analyst, IT technician, SOC analyst, computer technician, PC technician. Go work at Geek Squad if you need to. Okay? Because experience outweighs everything. Experience in IT is like gold. Okay? You can have all the certifications in the world, but if you don't have any experience, an employer is not going to want to take a chance on you. Okay? So you really need to, even if you have to volunteer and you have to go to the library and you have to ask them, can you come in here a couple hours a day to do some work on the computers? If that's what you need to do, then that's what you need to do. So you don't have any excuse. Okay? And breaking into IT, it's not easy. It's not for anyone lazy. It's not for, you're going to have to do a lot of reading. Okay? You're going to have to read a lot. So if you don't like reading, IT might not be the career for you. So really think about the time that you have to put aside to really show that you're serious about this field, okay? You got to put some time aside to study. You got to put some time aside to lab. You got to put some time aside to take a certification, okay? But once you do that, that's when you can leverage your studying and that experience into a position. Okay? So, like I said, tailor resumes, applications. When you're applying, okay, you want to make sure that you're applying to 10 jobs a day. A lot of people say they're applying to hundreds of jobs. You need to do at least 10 jobs a day. Okay? 1 or 2 or 3 ain't good enough. Alright? You need to save the resumes on your phone. If you want me to look at your resume, then click the link in the description and you can book a call with me and I'll go over it with you. So that's an option as well if you want me to look over it. Not saying I'm the best option, but it's a lot of different people out there that do resumes. But get your resume in line. If your resume is not dinging after hundreds of applications, it's something wrong with it. And it needs to be fixed. Okay? So, if you take everything that I said in this video and you apply it to your job strategy, 10 plus jobs a day, tailor resumes, get experience, you'll break in. You'll break in eventually. I'm 100% sure that you will break in. If you get a certification, step 1, get a certification. Step 2, make tailored resumes. Step 3, put past work experience and tailor that into IT experience onto the resume. Step 4, the volume of resumes that you're sending out and applications that you're filling out. At least 10 a day. If you do those 4, you'll land a job. So, just stay persistent, everyone. Like I said, I was able to fast track my IT career to over 6 figures in under 3 years. And I'm a living testament that if you put the work in and you really show everyone that you're serious about this field, then you'll get hired. Okay? You just got to stay persistent, guys. Okay? So, that's going to wrap up my episode here of Byte-Sized Balance. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Drop down in the comments what y'all want to hear me talk about. I might make a poll or put it on LinkedIn or something. Anything that you feel like is worth me putting out or something that you want to hear more about me or more about my job, leave a comment and we'll make sure we get that out for you. But other than that, we'll see you on the next episode of Byte-Sized Balance.